Hello everyone, so welcome to the session 4 recap video, and what a session we had in store here. So following on from the last video that we did, originally we planned to meet up on, let me just get my bearings here, so we would have planned to meet up on February the 9th, Sunday February the 9th at 7:30 p.m. If you remember from the last video, we said that Adnan was in hospital, and a couple of the other fellas couldn't make it, people like Rodney. I think there was a few others that couldn't make it, so we decided to have a rest week and just sort of have a week off from it and then jump back on the horse yesterday, which was Sunday the 16th of February at 7:30 p.m. UK time. And it was a brilliant session. So just to touch down on what happened, so myself, Adnan, Johnny, Alex and Rodney, 5 of us played the session out. Anthony was on holiday for the session. For some reason he couldn't make the game day for some reason, so he was on holiday for the session. And as mentioned before about David, we think David's quit, unfortunately, which is a bit sad and gutting, to be honest, because he was well on it at the beginning, made some good signings and seemed like he was enthusiastic with it, but we've not heard a peep from him, so we don't know what's going on there. So as per the rules, David, if he shows from what's left of the game, will just be put on holiday for the rest of the session. The rest of the game, and if it comes that he wins anything, then he'll get his money, because that is the rules. But as far as him coming back and playing in person, doesn't look like it's going to happen. Right, so let's show you how the league table's looking, and it's looking interesting, put it that way. Look at that. So we're pretty much 24 games in now. So quite far in now. We're getting to the business end of the season, and as you can see, it's pretty tight. It is pretty tight. So you've got Adnan's Arsenal at the top there, leading the way, in really good form. Adnan's really getting a tune out of them, and with the players that he signed, it's no surprise he was very shrewd in the transfer market, and he's proving the man to beat here. So as it stands, even though it's tight, with obviously City, Chelsea and Liverpool all human players within touching distance of him, then you've got Computer Villa, who have got a big say in it, and then it starts to drop down with sort of 10 points there. Brentford with a game in hand, and then obviously myself and Johnny, who, let's have a look, how does that work out? So Johnny's got a game in hand. Me, I'm 11 points behind, so Johnny could have pretty much go 8 points behind if he wins his game in hand. You would say we're the outsiders now, me and Johnny, for the title. Looks like we're not going to win it because we're quite off the pace, but the way things are going, who knows. But yeah, Arsenal leading the way there, but City, Chelsea, Liverpool and Villa have certainly got to say so in this title race. So it's really heading up now to be interesting stuff. So the only other human player, as we mentioned about David, he's languishing down in the bottom. 14 games they've lost, and he's not controlled most of these games, as we know. So even though his tactic is being played out, as you can see before, his tactic is being played out, it doesn't seem to be doing much joy for him at the minute. So yeah, that is how the league table looks. Very, very interesting. So let's show you if any more players were signed, because as you can see from the top left hand corner there, we've got about a day or two left of the transfer window. So I'll show you if anyone signed anyone. So Adnan, he used all his signings in the summer, so he couldn't sign no one. In terms of his outgoings, I think they're all pretty much the same. Yes, all the same as last time. He loaned a couple of people in here. Why not? You get free loans. Why not beef the squad up and get some loans in? So we got this guy who's a striker. Why not? He's okay. He's alright for a bit of backup. And then this guy, who I was actually trying to sign for Newcastle, but got trumped by Adnan, unfortunately, because, well, when you lead in the pack, it's pretty obvious that most people will want to go to the winning team. And Adnan was able to get in, but look at him. Stats look really, really good, and that's what attracted me to him. I was looking through the loan list, and yeah, thought, wow, this guy looks good. He could do a job, even as a 20-year-old inexperienced player. Why not bring him in? But fair play to Adnan. He also got in. Well, you can see there, I was interested. He got in there and he got him, and he has played him a little bit as well. So why not? So that was Adnan. In terms of loans out, none there. Let's have a look at Alex. Sorry, I think Alex used all his last time, didn't he? Yep, he used him all in the summer. They were his outgoings to Adnan's Arsenal. So he did get a loan signing on the 1st of January. So right at the very beginning there, guy from Stoke, Lawal, brought him in. And he's played him a little bit as well. So why not? Again, you've got loans to use. Why not use it and beef the squad? So he got that guy in right at the very beginning. And no loans out. Rodney, not signed anyone after Marmoush. He got rid of a few players by the looks of it. Vega, Casado, Chukwuemeka, I think that's how you pronounce it, and Dewsbury Hall. He got rid of them. No loans in, and he loaned this guy out as well, Lucas Bergstrom, goalkeeper. So that's Rodney. Then you got Anthony here, who wasn't here for this session. I think he'd be a bit disappointed he weren't there for this session, to be honest, because he's now running out of time of signing anyone. If he does make the next session, he won't have very long at all to use the last of his two signings that he's got available. So he might be a little bit gutted there, but yeah, nobody in. Obviously Gomez went on the 1st of January to Southampton. No loans in, no loans out. Then you got Johnny brought in Callum Hudson-Odoi from Nottingham Forest, ex-Chelsea player, as we know. Brought him in, can play all along the front line. Pretty decent average rating. Why not someone to come in and beef the squad up? Højlund went and Eriksson went. He got rid of them. Nice little fee for Højlund as well. Bayern Munich wanting them, who have obviously replaced, well, you'll see in a sec, I've pretty much ruined it now. They sold Harry Kane to Real Madrid, so Real Madrid got Harry Kane for £40 million off Bayern, and they replaced him with, obviously they signed Højlund, as we've just seen, Jean-Philippe Mateta, who was absolutely smashing it for Crystal Palace, was absolutely annihilating it, leading the goal scoring charts, which in fact I'll show you now. So look, average rating, he was top. He's not, obviously Isak's top now, my guy, which is fantastic, but Mateta was leading the way, and with 16 goals. So for Palace to lose him is a massive blow for them, but that's who Bayern replaced Harry Kane with. And if I must say, the way he's going on this game, what a replacement that is. But yeah, while I'm here, might as well show you the goals and everything. So Isak leading the way. Assist wise, you've got Bruno Fernandes at the top there. That's that. Who's got man of the matches? Let's have a look. Marmoush, funny enough, with Haaland. So he's a great signing there for Chelsea. Pass completion, my guy Shah, who has been pretty poor, if I'm honest. So I'm quite shocked to see that. Yellows, Ugarte, who, as we know, is a bit of a destroyer, so he's always going to get yellows. And then Pickford leading the way there with 2 reds. Yeah, so back to what we were saying anyway. So Johnny, got them out. loans. He got 2 loans in. This guy, you can sort of play all along the line there. And this guy as well from Inter, defensive midfielder, an Albanian. Brought him in. Loans out, none. So I'm going to do mine last. I'm going to go to David, even though David's not been on for a while. We can have a look if he signed anyone. Nope, because he used his 5 in the summer. He would have reject all bids on his holiday settings, so nobody's gone out. He loaned them 3 in the summer, which I think I showed you in a video before, and no loans out. So let's go to meet. You'll be shocked to see this. Look at that. Jordan Henderson for £1.9 million. A bit of a shock because he's another old boy, like Vardy. But experience, leadership, as you can see there, with determination and influence. Good in the big matches. Decent to have in, and it's beefed my midfield up. It's beefed my midfield up, which needed to happen really. So I brought him in for that price. You can't go wrong. Experience, why not? You know, and considering the Newcastle ball wouldn't let me spend a lot of money, I only had that 1.9 mil to spend. Yeah, Henderson was pretty much all I could get that was quality wise, and I'm pleased to have him in because he's handy to have there. He won't start, by all means, he won't start, but he's decent to have there to give me a bit of squad depth. And this one is a shock. You might have even seen it from the previous screen. Just show you this quick. So I released these fellas because I don't know if they've got clubs yet. Let's have a look. So Coventry has snapped him up. No, because I needed to free up some space to get obviously the likes of the people that I've brought in. These were my loans. Before I go to them two, look at that one. I mean, it's staring out at you. Benjamin Sesko on loan. One hell of a loan signing that, wasn't it? And I'm surprised that one went under the radar with all the other people. Because I think, judging by this, Arsenal and Chelsea were looking to sign him in the summer. So Rodney and Adnan were looking at trying to sign him, I think. But I've got him in. And as a loan signing and back up to Isaac, why not? Fantastic. Very pleased with that, and it's given me the depth that I so needed. And then I got these guys in. So Matthew Cox, I needed another goalkeeper just in case. You never know, if 2 go out, you haven't really got one. So I just got this bloke in from Brentford. Why not? And then this guy as well. Not anything amazing, this fella, but he's a defender and can play DMC as well, just to beef my squad up again and give me a bit of depth. So yeah, pretty, considering what I had to spend, a good little window really for me. And there's still a couple of days left, so who knows, come the next recap video there might be a couple of surprises, there might not be, but yeah, certainly beefed me up there. And that's that. So let's show you some fixtures here. I can't remember where it ended last time, if I'm deadly honest. But I'll have a little sort of scroll up, as you can see, just in case you want to cast your eye how they done in this session. I'm pretty sure it would have ended somewhere there. Alex here with City. Just a little scroll up if you want to pause the video and have a look who they beat and things like that. I'm not going to click in them, so it will take forever and a day to do that. But that was pretty much Alex's session. Now, I will touch on this. Please don't take it as being sour grapes. It's not. It's part of the game. I'll just show you quick. Rodney. There he got on there. So, yes, this game in particular. So, me and Rodney played. Originally, I beat him 1-0. I won 1-0 and Rodney got 2 players sent off. To be honest with you, for the last quarter of the second half, I was hanging on, even though they had 9 men. Chelsea was sort of throwing everything at it. So I'm guessing Rodney just still went for it, which is to his credit, fair play, why not? He still went for it with 9 men, and he was bossing a lot of the game. But I got out of the game with a 1-0 win. Unluckily, the game crashed, and we didn't save after. So that meant that I pretty much lost a very valuable 3 points there that would have shook the table right up and put a dent in Rodney's unbeaten run, which, as you can see here, before City, because Alex eventually dented his unbeaten run, but I was the one to dent the unbeaten run there. As you can see, it went on quite a way. But yeah, it happens. It happens. Gutting, obviously, because it did shake the title race right up and put me in the mix with it. But, you know, it is what it is. So we had to replay it. And this time it was me who got the sending off with Joe Linton. And even though I took the lead, I ended up losing, and late on as well. So, yeah, gutting. Was pretty gutted with that. Well, judging by this one, he dominated this game. But, you know, it happened to Rodney earlier on in the season. If you go back to one of the recap videos, you'll see it happen to him, where he won a game against a computer. We had a crash, he had to replay it, and he ended up losing it, I think. So these things happen. It is what it is. Rodney was understanding about it, to his credit, but yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I did originally win this game, but then ended up losing it. But yeah, that were Rodney's fixtures. Anthony, as we know, I've said before, went on holiday for the session. You'll be able to sort of see how he done there. Johnny, who really fell off the mountain, to be honest, because he was leading away early on, as you'll see from the previous recaps, but he fell off a cliff a little bit now in terms of the league, and found himself from top down to 7th place. So, yeah. There's me here. How did I get on? Disappointed with them two, if I'm honest. Them 2 draws. Particularly this game with Ipswich. Look at this. 4-3. Look, dominated the game, judging by the stats. Vardy equalises on the 90th minute, and they go and get the winner not long after. So, yeah, Vardy equalised, and then Force won the game for them. So that was a hectic end to the game, which I ended up losing. That was gutting, particularly after that Rodney loss as well. But yeah, that's how I got on. As you can see, Cardiff took me to a replay in the FA Cup. I'll show you the FA Cup in a minute. And obviously David, who's languishing down the bottom there. That was his session. Okay, so firstly, let's show you the Champions League. How's that going? So Milan, we're in the second phase there. The old second phase, how it used to be. You can't change that in the updates on Championship Manager 0102 because it's hard coded, this format. So you can't have the format like it is in real life. It has to follow the olden days one, unfortunately. This is how it's going. So Alex is down the bottom at the minute. Still early days there, but he's not won yet. Tough group that is for him. Up the top there is Anthony, and then you got Adnan's Arsenal leading away with Real Madrid. So that's the Champions League. Europa League, yeah, I think we saw from the last recap video it was the same. They've not resumed yet, these competitions, since the last game. I think they resume soon. But yeah, tough games there for both United and Tottenham. Okay, let's show you the League Cup. So it's not been announced officially, but your League Cup final is going to be Adnan's Arsenal versus Johnny's Man United. So you will have a all-human League Cup final there to look forward to. That will be good. There'll be fireworks there, that's for sure. And then whoever wins that wins their money back. As per the rules, you get your £10 back. So Adnan, who's leading the way in the league at the minute, will face off against Johnny in the League Cup. And as I say, not been announced officially, but as you can see from there, that is what the final will be, so that will be exciting. And then FA Cup, that's the 5th round. So are we all there? I think. No, City were knocked out. There was a shock there, wasn't there? I'll show you. Bear with me. Where are they? I think they got knocked out in the replay. Yeah, so Sheffield United 0-0 and then beat them in the replay with a shock. Look at that. 89th minute penalty. And then Haaland pulled one back, but it wasn't enough. So that was a shock. The magic of the cup and all that. Just trying to look at something a minute. Yeah, nah. But yeah, Alex is the first one to fall from the FA Cup, unfortunately for him. So that means he won't be getting his hand on any of the domestic cups. It's all on the league for him now in terms of winning money. But obviously, in terms of the Roll of Honour, he will want to win the Champions League as well, of course. So yeah, you'll have Arsenal or Liverpool, which, didn't know that. There's an all-human replay there. So that was an all-human game, 0-0. And they'll face off in the replay at Anfield. So another human player is going to go out there. So it'll be Adnan's Arsenal or Anthony's Liverpool against Bournemouth. Johnny's Man United against Everton. Rodney's Chelsea against Sunderland. My Newcastle against Fulham. And then David's Tottenham in an all-London derby there against West Ham. So FA Cup's certainly heating up. Yeah, brilliant stuff. Looking fantastic. Really sort of well poised. There was something else I was going to show you. What was it? I think it was the manager of the month things, but I'm trying to think where we find that. Where do we find that? Is it in player stats? Awards, there we go. So that's the latest team of the week there. A few human players in. Manager of the month. So it's been dominated by human players. So you had Johnny winning it in August, Anthony in September, Adnan October, Anthony again in November, and then Adnan in December. So that's the manager of the month awards for now. Player of the month, well, Mateta, before he left, was picking them awards up there. Young player, City Savinho, decent looking him, isn't he? Having a really good season there. 8 goals for a sort of midfield player. That's good. I think it's midfield. We won't have manager of the year or none of that yet. Great. Let's go back to the league table again. Can have a look at the championship. I mean, none of this is relevant to our game really, but I'll show you anyhow how these leagues are getting on in case you are interested. Millwall rooted to the bottom there. That's the League One table. League Two table. And just for completion, we will show you the National League and National League South leagues. We haven't got North because you can only choose between North or South what one you want on this particular patch. And that's how that's looking there. I don't think there's much more to show. FA Trophy, if you're interested in that. That's how that's looking. What else we got? I think that's it pretty much. Go back to the league table just so you can have one more look at it. So yeah, judging by this, you'd have to say David's Tottenham are well out of it now. I can't see them making any sort of comeback there. 25 points off the pace. That's a long way. That if anything, they're fighting relegation because they're 4 points off the relegation. Who would have thought that with the players they've got? Arsenal, City, Chelsea, Liverpool, 4 human players, and Villa as a computer player, you'd have to say, are all involved in a title race here. Villa are only 4 points off Adnan's Arsenal. Brentford are 10 points behind. That's where the gap gets pretty bigger. So you'd have to say, as outsiders, well, anyone from Brentford to West Ham really still have a chance, but unrealistic. I mean, Johnny's got that game in hand, which will, if he wins it, will put him above Brentford. Will put him at 8 off. He's back in it, I would say. Myself, as you know, again, not sour grapes. I could have done with that win against Rodney, if I'm honest. That would have put me back in the thick of it. But it is what it is. But I had now found myself being a massive outside bet. What do I want to take from it now? Well, of course, I'd love to win it, but I can't see that, even with the players I brought in. For me, getting in that top 5 has to be the priority now. Getting in the top 5, even though it won't win me any cash, but all eyes on the FA Cup for me now, I think. And I've got a tough game there against Fulham away. That's going to be anything but straightforward. But the FA Cup is a big chance for me to get a trophy and to try and win a bit of money. So yeah, that will be interesting. That will be where a lot of my eggs will be, in that basket now, as well as still trying to fight in the league. And I've got 2 massive games coming up against the top of the league. If I beat Adnan there, I'm back in the thick of it, perhaps because I dent him a little bit, and then I have to face Johnny immediately after. So if I get 2 wins there, who knows? Effectively, them 3 games there are massive for me. Getting 4 points out of that would be fantastic. It would be a dream to get 4 out of them 2, and then to beat Fulham in the Cup, and then I'm rolling in the next session. But it's easier said than done, that's for sure. So yeah, great session. We plan to meet up next Sunday, which, let me have a look. Obviously things can happen that can change that, but that would be the 23rd. I reckon we'll have this done within another 2 sessions, perhaps 3 at the most. If I were a betting man, I'd say 2 sessions. We'll have this done. But yeah, it's looking great now. Roll on the next one. See you then.